Oh, we love to talk about music on Arrow.net, ARROE.net. Don't ever tell me that great rock is dead. That is the very reason why we love to make these connections with you. Arrow.net, ARROE.net. Let's do it. Let's play it forward. These are real people, real stories, the struggle to play it forward. Episode number 456 is with Jeff Buehner from the group The Loyal Order.
Hey, man. How are you doing?
Doing very well. How's everything out where you guys are?
Good. What's up? Are you? I forgot where you're at.
Here in Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
Where it's about 200 degrees.
Is it 200? Oh my gosh. I'm sure it's hot. It's actually warming up here in Oregon for the first time, like into the 80s next week. So it's been raining for months.
Really? It has. You know, I read an article about that area where you guys were actually starting to question if you were even going to have a summer.
Dude, like seriously, I had the fire going a couple nights ago.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was crazy. but now it's like sunny and it's going to be like 80 or whatever. So
wow,
I'm good.
Wow,
yeah.
You got to tell me about this song, Last Words. I mean, the inspiration behind it, but you have to. I mean, there's so much more to this song than the lyrics and the things that went into it because there's a feeling about it. And did you know that feeling was there when you first started bringing it together?
Oh, dude. Basically what happened on that was like I was plunking around one night on my acoustic guitar and I found this open tuning, and it's that I've never used before, didn't even know existed, and it was the because I'm a bass player, not a guitar player, you know. So I just was goofing around, and I found the open tuning that they use for the Rain song, Led Zeppelin. And I was like, oh, that's pretty, you know? And I started plunking around, and I downloaded the pre-chorus in my head from somewhere. And basically, the part where it says, coins in my eyes, what will my last words be? Mm-hmm. Just the pre-chorus. And I'd been toying around with the last words lyric for a while. Just I found it actually in just some of my just kind of like goofing around, like I'll sit and write just thoughts as they pop into my head, absolutely, or whatever. And so it was there already, and I found it that I'd written it down several months earlier in this other idea that I had, but for whatever reason it popped into my head for that chord progression. And that's kind of where it came from. I just I started with that, and it seemed to ring true. And then it's just it's a thought that a lot of us have, and in a lot of ways it's symbolic too. It's not. The song is actually about surviving,
right?
Something that should have taken us out, in one way or another, whether that's actually out of the physical realm or if it was, something that, should have taken us out mentally or emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it all kind of came from. And it kind of wrote itself. When that first pre-chorus popped into my head, it was like it just sat in my lap and stared at me until I finished it. Pretty much is how it was. I was a madman for a couple weeks.
I love the way that you jot down thoughts. I call that stream thinking. And a lot more people need to, trust that feeling that when something hits you, write it down because you're going to need it somewhere else.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. I do that a lot. Like even when I'm like, at a concert or something, I'll be listening to another band and they'll sing a lyric that makes me think of another line that maybe I would have used or a different twist on their lyric or whatever. And if I'm just randomly, driving around and something pops into my head, it'll be there,
Yeah.
And then I go back, I revisit it and it's sometimes pretty handy,
I think one of the reasons why this song hits me so hard is because I've been a daily writer since July of 1994. And that thought has come to me many times. Is this the last paragraph I'm going to put on any page?
Yeah, right. Right. I mean, and so is that like when you listen to it? I mean, I'm just out of curiosity.
I thought you were in my notebooks. I really did. I thought you were in my notebooks. It was like you've been here. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's because it's one of those things. It's like, will it be something that is going to change someone, or is it going to be just, oh wow, that was kind of a weird way to wrap up your life. Goodbye, buddy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's definitely a thought that it's crossed my mind a lot of times. And, and I think it also, it's also inspiring because, we test ourselves and it's like if we're actually able to choose our last words, what will, they'll be predetermined by how we chose to live. And that alone is inspiring. It's just like, oh my God, it puts you in check for, am I too wrapped up in, mundane things, or am I actually trying to make a difference or serve some greater role in life, in humanity, so it's always inspiring to like begin with the end in mind and then come back and go, oh, okay, yeah, I need to do this and this and this. Maybe that's not so important, but yeah, I mean, living a life of purpose is really everything.
Absolutely. What's really interesting about this song is I looked over at my wife. I said, Lee, man, this thing has so much maturity in it. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I said, in our 20s, we tried to make as much noise as possible, but now that I'm turning 60, I just want to listen to everybody's stories. And I think that's the reason why I was drawn into this, because I'm going, oh my God, going through his experiences helps me with my experiences. Now I can reach out to other experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I can only hope to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I play music to connect.
That's it.
And singing is a newer thing for me. And, connecting with a lyric or making somebody think or, helping them make choices and choosing the direction that, they're going to go, or whatever, touching people, just being a part of a song, whether I write it or somebody else does, but being a part of that music that impacts somebody is very important to me. And that's why I play. I mean, at the end of the day.
Well, my God, the vocals on this song are spot on. And I love it because you draw me in with that opening with those guitars, and all of a sudden here comes the vocals, the storyline, and then boom, here comes that hook. And it's like, God, that's the way it's supposed to be done.
Right. Oh, dude, trust me, man. That's how it felt when I was writing it too. It started with the pre-chorus. I naturally gravitated to what actually became the chorus. I had an alternate chorus for it. Brandon and I worked on it for a little bit. And then we ended up going back to my gut, instinct. And then I kind of wrote the verses last. And I had the second half of the verses before I had the first part of the first verses. And it just kind of all, the way that this song revealed itself was kind of almost inside out and backwards, but that's okay. It, like I said, it drove me crazy for a few weeks actually, just because you can't force it, but you got to be intentional, so, and receive it and download it and then question that, and then realize your gut instinct is probably what you need to go with,
So when you were receiving this particular set of words here, what were you doing and where were you? I feel like I'm walking on water.
I was sitting at the coffee table, plunking on the acoustic guitar, and I just felt like that's what what's really interesting about it. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. The coins, the visual of the coins in my eyes, that's kind of a mafia kind of a thing. It's kind of a, mafia movies and stuff like that. But coins in my eyes was fairy fair to cross the river Styx. So I didn't know that. I didn't realize there was a water connection, but the chorus wanted to be about walking on water. So I just kept going with it. And then I realized, wow, this really connects, and it was kind of a placeholder at first because I didn't know. And then when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, there's, it's all there.
Wow. Where'd you guys do the video at?
We actually shot. It was our first experience doing a full-length video with green screen background. So we did it all in.
Oh, wow.
We did the entire thing inside of a green screen studio.
Wow, I didn't even pick up on that vibe. You know, I have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, it's all pretty much green screen. But we chose the elements, and we filmed, a lot of the B-roll and stuff like that. We went into an old Catholic church in my hometown and filmed some of that stuff. And and it was actually where I was baptized when I was a little baby.
Wow.
And and there was the place it's phenomenal in there. And then we did some of the water scenes are, right between myself and my producer's house, just in between, So we just kind of pieced it together, and Mari was a perfect actress for it. She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It all worked out.
Wow. Have you taken it to a live crowd yet?
Once right after we tracked the song, we played it in front of somebody and a crowd, and they loved it. So
yeah,
I'm anxious to see, we're gearing up to do some shows now, and it's part of the set, and it's going to be, everybody will at least kind of have heard it, and not since it's been released.
So now let's talk the music business, and that means getting this song out there on new rock radio stations. Are they following it, or do I see a second generation classic rock station picking it up?
I think I haven't really pushed it hard at radio because it's kind of a long song.
Yeah, it is, but that's good.
Yeah, it's just most radio stations want it to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds or under 4 minutes or something. And
that's it.
And you just can't spit this whole thought out in that amount of time. But I just decided to put it out and just to have everybody hear it, because we're tracking a bunch of new stuff right now, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we're here, and I really felt like it was an important time to get this song out.
Yep. So now, when you're putting a song like this together, and you rely on Brandon and stuff like that, I mean, that's the collaboration that a lot of people don't understand. I mean, that's a brotherhood that just basically happens, but you can't jump into it and say, all right, let's do it right now. It's one of those where it has to melt together, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're correct. So with this one, I plunked around on an acoustic guitar and found the melody and open tuning, and I got it to a certain point, and then I'm like, hey, you need to come over, and we need to talk about this. And so he came over, and he ended up writing the intro and the instrumental section and the outro to add to what I'd already had. So I had the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus, and we experimented with a different chorus, but he really latched onto it pretty quick too.
Wow.
And and I kept kicking the ball down the field with it as fast as I could, though, because I wanted to get it out, because it was destroying everything else in my life. I was I was so I needed to finish the song. So I kind of pushed really hard on the guys to do their parts in it, because it was going to come out one way or the other, I pushed it really hard, and Brandon came and did his stuff, and he wrote that amazing, those two parts at the beginning, both of them. If he did all that stuff in the instrumental section in the middle, and everybody else used the same open tuning on their instruments
that's
too.
So cool.
Yeah, so which is kind of forces the guys. It kind of forces everyone into a different, you just have to be instinctual, because the tunings are different on your guitar, and it's definitely not a normal tuning that you use often, anyone uses often. So you just kind of have to hear it and feel it, instead of having any go-to guitar riffs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because it's all about feel and melody and finding different, different melodic structures in a tuning that you're not familiar with. So it all has to be gut, and I think that's what made it even better. There's a tension there, and it formed itself well, I think.
That phone call to Brandon, was it a Wayne's World moment where it's like, dude? It
kind of was. It was more like, hey man, I got something, you need to come over. And he's like, then he comes over and he's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Man, you live for those moments. They don't happen every day.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like I strum around on an acoustic guitar and play kind of half-assed, and then I show something to Brandon and he has to try to envision what I'm trying to play for him. But anyway, with this one I had it all. I was all there, and I actually was finger picking most of it, and then he took what I realized I was doing is I was finger picking the verse melody when I first started writing it. And that's what I was doing. I found the verse melody, and I didn't realize that that's what that was going to be. And then it turned into I had all the melody for the second half of the verse and the pre-chorus, and going into the chorus was all there. So anyway, it was really interesting. This one was, it was a journey getting as it wrote itself, and then realizing we had to record it right away, and we needed to put another single out. Anyway, it was time, and the video happened, and boom, there it is.
Wow. So where can people go to find out more about the Loyal Order and more about you and what you're doing with music?
So there's, all the platforms like Facebook, the Loyal Order on Facebook, the Loyal Order on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel that we're just now starting to push a little harder. The Loyal Order, Twitter, all that stuff. And we have the loyalorder.com. So it's all there. It's pretty easy to find us these days. So,
well, when you guys get on that road, you come to the East Coast and you land in Charlotte, we all got to get together.
Dude, I have to make it out of there. My friend Dave Alford from Rough Cut just moved out to that side of the country, and he and I are actually going to do a writing session soon.
Oh,
so
cool. Yeah, because there's something out in there's something in the dirt here. I don't know what it is, but there's just something in the dirt here in the South.
Yeah. What's interesting, back to the last words thing, I was picturing, as we were writing the song, I was kind of picturing a bayou kind of a landscape. It's kind of got that, it's got a hint of the South, and not Texas South. It's got a hint of Louisiana South, or
a little bit of Delta.
Carolinas.
A little bit of Delta. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was picturing. Like the water there, and the swampy kind of vibe, and it's kind of where it came from, and it ended up being a little more commercial than that, but that's what I was picturing. So yeah, I definitely need to get back there, and I played there with another band a couple of years ago, and I just was like, I need to explore this entire area for like a week.
Absolutely, man. Jeff, come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
You bet, man. Arrow, it's so awesome to talk to you again, dude. It's been, what has it been, like 2 years?
That's it. I was looking at it before you even called. Absolutely. It was in 2020.
Yeah, very cool, man.
That was that little pandemic thing going on.
What was that? Did that happen?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
All right, Arrow. Talk to you soon, man.